this is Sabina at Cross Keys Crafts. Apologies in advance, I have come down with a fat cold today, so I hope I don't sniffle too much or don't cough in my videos. I have got a new die for myself today. If you haven't watched the beginning of my series, I have made myself this box and I put dies in here that I have only used once or even have never used. So I set myself the challenge to use these dies at last. And for today, I can see what it is. I have got these dies. I only bought them a few months ago. I had seen them before, so as you can see they are bauble dies. And yeah, they cut out a shape. This one's got poinsettia on it, and I've seen these as shaker cards, and that's what intrigued me. I think they also came with a sentiment die. Yeah, so I think I will use them as intended as shakers, but maybe I'll come up with something else as well. Maybe have one card as a shaker and one card as something different. Make two cards today. I'll have a think about this and I come back, probably because it's a shaker, with a step in between rather than showing you the result. So I'll see you later. Okay, I want to talk you through a few steps I have done so far. Apologies, by the way, if you hear any background noises. There's some scaffolding work going around at the neighbours, but I think you might not actually hear that. I do though. First thing I did was I chose as my paper, I chose this envelope I only got yesterday. I really like this gold. It's sort of in really sort of, in German we call it old gold, so it's not very bright. And if you use envelopes, you need to back those up with something, so either put them on cardstock. But because I wanted to cut from them and cut an intricate die rather than a solid one, to make sure you have applied glue everywhere, because you don't want to have a bit where you've got no glue and it comes off, I like to use double-sided adhesive, and I just use this from my roll. There is a catch though if you use this sort of stuff, because it's got a plastic backing on it, and that's sometimes really difficult to cut through. So I needed 2 attempts, and I actually used my extra metal shim. That works nicely. You can also use some packaging. I used that though because I wanted to emboss something and then it failed completely. So it basically cut it out again. So I won't be using that, I won't have an embossed piece on it. So, and it was, because of the plastic backing, it was quite a lot of work and to take all the little bits out. But I managed, and I've prepared these. So this has got sticky adhesive on the back. I just left this on here. The other one I have already glued down or stuck down on this piece of acetate, which is just packaging, and it's fairly thin, but I'm not too bothered because it's not I will put that behind the window, so it's not an element that needs to go somewhere on the top, so I don't need to have it too solid. So yeah, that's what I did. I just stuck the tape on that and then just die cut from these pieces. The other tip I wanted to give you, when you do things like that, I want to put this on a 5x7 card. Make sure before you do any embellishments, before you do the die cutting, that your card base, I use this pearlescent one, is the right size. Because once you start die cutting, putting foam tape on the back, you can't cut this to size. And it happened to me so often that I thought, oh yeah, it's a 5x7 card, and I buy these in the shop. And then I found, no, it's not exactly 5x7, and I actually need to cut a bit off, and then it's really tricky once you put tape on it. Yeah, so that's just one thing I wanted to mention quickly before I go on and forget all about the steps that I have done. So I have decided to cut a window. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use these dies to basically plan the layout of my card. So one will go on without a window behind it, I think. I might change my mind about this now that I'm seeing this, because we've got a lot of space, because I thought maybe I'd just use it like this, or if I could be bothered, get a nice background paper and just have this one as a shaker card. Yeah, I think that would be nice. If I find something that goes with this, to have it in the background, posh enough to have this sort of look, and then just have this as a window shaker card. Yeah, and once I've decided and cut this out, I will show you how to put the window, the shaker card together on the back. So I just want to show you this little middle step. So I have die cut the window here. So, and I've already adhered some red tape on the back. I'll just tore this off there. Should be okay. And now we'll put the release paper off. And this acetate, I have cut it down a bit. It was a bit wide, as I measured that before. And I'm just now putting this down so that the bauble die cut sits right in the window. And I have left this a bit longer deliberately. I have got a video on my channel, if I remember, I'll link it below, how to create a very simple shaker card by basically using a little clear bag behind it. And this is the same method I will actually do here, because I will use this acetate to create a pocket for the sequins. This way I can be sure that nothing falls out. You don't have any bits sticking on some foam tape on the side, and it will be enough for the sequins I have found. Oh, here they are. Because I found in my stash, these are actually the only gold sequins I possess. So when I go shopping next time, I might have a look around if I can find any more gold sequins. I have got a mix of black and gold and silver, but I didn't want to pick them out, so I will use these today. So they will go in here. So I will basically fold this over, put some more red tape here to create the pocket, fill this in before I seal up the pocket, and then I'll show you how to put on the foam tape. But I won't put on the foam tape until I have created the other bauble, which I will also show you what I will do. Change of plan. My method with the acetate bag did not work for two reasons. First of all, I think the acetate is too rigid to create a bag, because it was very tight, and it works fine with the clear bags, but I think this one didn't work that well. And the other thing is, I noticed that when I removed the top layer and tried to get these off, these are very, very static. I used my embossing powder on them now. I might change the secret for some smaller ones, because I think because they're so big, they just stay on, as you can see here, and I think I won't win with these. So the only thing I did find was a bit of small glitter, so I might go for that instead. And I have changed my mind about the bag version, although that is the easier one, but I will actually do the one with the foam tape. But as I said before, I don't stick this on until I've done the other bauble. And for that one I have planned, I've stuck this down now because it's had the double-sided adhesive on the back. I have cut the same bauble from cardstock, glitter cardstock. It's very fine glitter, and I deliberately left this in the die as it came out because I'm going to do some inlay. Inlay means that I've never done that before, and I do like a challenge, I told you. So I'm going to put glue in these bits. I'm taking the appropriate piece out and just stick it down, but I'm only doing the poinsettia in the middle. I'm not doing the other bits. I just leave those plain. So once I've done that, I will put the foam strips around here. I showed you this in another video. I always put my foam strip that's come on the roll, I put them on some release paper, which allows me then to cut it without it sticking to my scissors. And I will put this around here, and I will use my embossing buddy here, the powder, on the edges of the foam tape, so nothing, the glitter won't stick to the foam tape. And then I will actually put probably a piece of that glitter cardstock behind it. I find it easier to put something behind it, and then I can turn it around before I adhere to the card base. So I'll have a look at that. I hope it's clear enough without me showing you these steps. I've already recorded quite a few bits that I had to scrap now because it didn't work. So yeah, I'll see you later. Okay, I just wanted to show you this. So I have put my foam tape all around here. I've made sure I closed all the little corners here, and I have put a little bit of glitter cardstock behind that top bit of the bauble. But just to make sure that the glitter will stay inside, I'm going to put some of my collal glue on these as well, because I have found in the past, I sent my mum once a card with as a shaker card, and the windows had come undone actually, and the sequins had fallen out. So just to be on the safe side, I'm just putting that around there. So I've cut a bit of scrap from the glitter cardstock, and I just make sure it seals the whole window off. I'm not fussed if there's a bit overhanging here. I'm just pressing this down, and I will take my time now for it to dry. I even put a bit of weight on it, and before I actually turn it over, because I've done that in the past. I was too impatient, and the glue wasn't dry yet, and the glitter would be stuck on the glue rather than moving freely in the middle. So I'll do that, and then I'll show you how I have finished the other bauble, and I will going to put some string on it as well. I just wanted to show you the back of my card before I stick it down. So I have gone round with my foam tape all the way around. Ideally, I forgot all about it. I cut this off like this. I like actually to have a strip down here so you don't see the side, but it doesn't matter really. So I filled all this up. Make sure it's properly covered so you don't have any bits where there is no depth to it, because then that will fall in, even especially if you hand it over in the post. Ignore the mess on the side. Look at that. It took quite a long time to make this card because I changed certain things, and it'll take me at least 15 minutes to tidy it all up, but it doesn't matter. So I'm just hovering this above the card and then set it down. What you can do, you can put some liquid glue onto the foam strips, and then that gives you a bit of wriggle room, but I'm okay with this. And as you can see, I decided against the ribbon. I just used more of my envelope with the backing on it because I had plenty of it left, so I just cut a very thin strip and just stuck it down there, and I think that's enough. In hindsight, I should not have used the glitter card for the back, because although the glitter moves in there, it's quite nice actually. You can't see it because gold glitter on gold glitter cardstock does not show. But never mind, we learn things in the process. And yeah, I'm still quite pleased with this. I will have to find a sentiment that fits here, and I'm going to finish this off, and then you can see the finished product in the thumbnail. But for now, I shall leave it here and upload the video later. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, you might want to give me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of my videos, there are 5 more to come. Is that correct? 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, yes. 5 more to come in this advent calendar. And after that, probably in January, I start filming again and uploading videos 2 to 3 times a week. See you tomorrow for the next video.